Do you have a mustache? Do you like Instagram? What about vintage clothing?
I'm just pumped. I bought some shit from a thrift shop.
If so, my guest today might have a bone to pick with you. She's the author of a controversial New York Times op-ed, This Is What's Your Big Idea?
My big idea is that the United States in particular, but the West in general, is binging on irony. And that I'm a big fan of irony. I've been sort of depicted in the media in certain places as being an irony hater.
Because the title of your article that you wrote in the New York Times was How to Live Without Irony.
Exactly. But the emphasis is on the word live. I want people to live without irony, but not to move through their existence without irony in media, perhaps, or in political comedy.
So you're not saying to abolish irony entirely?
No.
Which has been around since at least Alanis Morissette, probably further.
Probably earlier than that.
Right.
No, I actually love irony. I always watch Stewart and Colbert, for example.
How do you distinguish between what is ironic and what isn't ironic in someone's everyday life? Some people might say this sweater is ironic.
This is something that I wanted to really emphasize in the piece, is that it's a question of sort of self-reflection, and no one can really judge you from the outside. And so this is one of the most important lines in the article that I wrote, was that the hipster is an easy target for mockery, but making fun of the hipster, scoffing at the hipster, is a sort of diluted version of his own affliction. I started with what I thought was very clearly a caricature, so all of the stereotypes attached to the hipster, and so maybe when people were reading, they believed that they were going to read another hipster bashing article.
Or they wanted to read another hipster bashing article.
And so the people who responded negatively, I think in general, just kind of kept running with the same idea that they had, the first sort of knee-jerk reaction to the first paragraph.
Why do you think your piece has generated such response, both positively and negatively?
Well, it's a sensitive point to ask people to look at what they do, and this is something that I really think is important. After I published the piece, I've gotten about 500 emails from all over the world, and I've gotten emails from Vietnam, Armenia, Pakistan, Mexico. I got 3 emails from soldiers in Afghanistan. So people who are actually dealing with really tough things, and wrote to me with the consensus that when they look to the United States and they see this self-infantilizing population that takes everything as a joke, and that is sort of constantly in this mode of some kind of mockery or scoffing, that they're astounded.
Sweet.
Is that kind of what you wanted?